Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Regional College of Management sponsored webinar on how to be where you want to be. We are indeed happy to have you with us. It is indeed a pleasure for you people as well to get connected over this interface. Just give me a moment.
So good evening, everybody. What a wonderful day it is. I can see so many of you here, and we're glad to have you all here for this webinar. Now, I do not want to sound typical by saying, "ये 75 मिनट आपकी जिंदगी को बदल के रखेंगे." But yes, these set 5 minutes, you're with us and listen carefully. It will definitely shift your thinking from here to here. So I congratulate all of you for joining this webinar. And by joining itself, you've proved that you're no average, somebody next door who's here for just an ordinary session, but you're here to receive a paradigm shift in your life, and I'm sure you'll receive it very soon. So today, we're going to share with you 3 untold secrets of making it big in whichever field you are in. And we, as faculty members of Regional College of Management, me and other 2 speakers, we are here to help you with this. Now, we share this with our students in the college. We share this in the corporate trainings. And today we are here to share it with all of you because by joining this session, you've proved that you really want to make it big in life. So before I begin, can I see some of you typing excited in the chat box? And then we move on. Can I see some of you typing excited?
Soni ma'am, pardon me for the intrusion, but I think there's a bit of echo problem in your audio.
Great. Can I see more of you writing excited in the chat box before we finally begin and start sharing the secret number 1? Yes, I'm happy to see so many of you typing excited. Perfect. Very nice. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so let's begin. Today, before we start with the secret number 1, I would like to ask you one question, and it is, who all fall in this top 1 percentile? And to understand this, let's look at the slide and check out who all actually fall in this category of top 1 percentile. So is my screen clearly visible? Yes? Okay. Thank you. Whosoever is doing that, Pratha, please stop all annotations. Thank you. Okay. So as we can see here, let me disable annotations and Pratha, can you clear this?
So, yes, ma'am. Working on it. Working on it, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So being in top 1 percentile, who all are the people who fall in this category of top 1 percentile people? So on your screen, you can see Indra Nui, you can see Ratan Tata, you can see Bill Gates, Narendra Modi, Shah Rukh Khan, and Virat Kohli, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and so many. And in the center, you can see, will you make it? There is a frame which is empty. And if you listen to us carefully for the next few minutes, and then someday, some Sangamitra Pal will again be talking about 1 percentile people, your picture will be here in this frame. Great? Okay. So now that we've understood what would we mean actually by being in the top 1 percentile, let's understand which are the category of people who fall under this top 1 percentile. So let's look at the next slide. And okay, is my slide visible? Okay. Okay, this is, yeah. Can you all see my slide? So this is the slide which says that which category of people fall in the top percentile. So in the first category, you see there are some entrepreneurs. So we have the rich and famous Ambanis, we have the Tatas, Jeff Bezos. And in the second category, you can see sports stars. So if you make it to the top, say national or international level sports, you fall under this category of top percentile people. Again, performers. So this is a very wide category of performers where whichever field you are in, be it music, be it dance, or whatever it is, it's a very big criteria category. And all the performers who want to who want to perform in this stage of life and want to reach at the top. So ranging from Lata Mangeshkar to Mother Teresa, everybody will fall under this category. And then again, the fourth category you can see is of politicians. So all those top-notch politicians, if you Google, you'll find out Barack Obama, you'll find Putin, Narendra Modi. So all the politicians who are in the top-notch category also fall under this. Now, now that I've told you all this, and you must be thinking, so ma'am, why is your photo not here? So for this, let me tell you, we all know Mary Kom, but how many of us know Chotilal Yadav, her coach? We all know Virat Kohli, but how many of us know Virat Kohli's trainer Sharma? Bill Campbell. How many of us know Bill Campbell? But if I say Bill Campbell is the coach for Bill Gates, and you say, oh, acha, okay. So being coaches and being in the training fraternity, it is our job, our responsibility to help all of you rise. And for doing this today, what we three of us did is we studied bios of all these top people who are in the top percentile. And from there, we have taken out these three secrets and we'll share with you those secrets very soon. Okay, now that I've made this clear, let me ask you, and before we steer our handle towards a good life, let me ask some of you, what's your definition of a good life? Okay, so you can either write it in the chat box, or we can hear from one or two of you. Yes, you can write your definition of a good life, and or we can hear from one or two of you. You can raise your hand virtually, and we can hear from one or two of you what your definition of a good life. Prarad sir, you can help people unmute and
Yes,
they can
ma'am.
answer.
Yes, ma'am. On it.
Okay. A good life is successful and full of integrity. Very nice, Shweta. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so let's go on. Now that good life का कैसा फंडा है ना? As children, we've all gone to parents, teachers, uncle, aunties, and friends, and we've asked them, ये successful और happy बनने के लिए क्या करना पड़ता है? What's the definition of a good life? And they tell you, पढ़ाई करो. They tell you, get a good job. एक अच्छा job होना बहुत जरूरी है. And we fix our mindset as per that. And to illustrate this, let me share my screen and so let's understand the definition of a good life. Okay, so on your screen is a graph which says that from 15 to 23 or 24 is your education time. Next goes your career. You have to have a job, you have to start earning. Next is the time you have to get married, you have to have children, you have to have family, and then starts your living. And this life that is there in our mind is a settled life. What happens in a settled life, by the time you reach 35, and you're above 40, there are so many responsibilities on your shoulder, like that of children, family, and moving ahead in life, EMIs. So your energy starts dripping, your energy starts going down. And then to start something new or start something big does not take place. So and we all start living a good life. There's no problem with this good life. No, we all start living this good life, and good life good hai. As you can all see on your screen, but with this good life, you remain in the top 50% only. Forget about reaching 20% or even the top 1 percentile. So with this good life mindset, education hoga, career hoga, job karna shuru kar denge. We'll have a family very soon. So taking the family to international destinations, having a big car, a big house. But doing all this, your definition of good life goes on, and you are very soon above 40. Now, if you've understood this, let's understand that this good life will help you remain in the 50, as I've said, but does not take you any point of time to the top 1 percentile. So, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends, write down the secret number 1 on a piece of paper, and it is, let me stop sharing the screen, and it is, the secret number 1 comes here, and it is, good is the biggest enemy of great. I repeat once again, secret number 1 is, good is the biggest enemy of great. We aspire for a good life, and we get a good life. We never aspire for a great life. I'm going to ask you something. What is the name of your great grandfather? Your grandfather's father. I can guarantee you, not 90% of us won't remember. Why? Because they all had a good life, no? They all had a good life. And it's okay if you want to be in that top 50% percentile. The 70% of the entire world remains in this top 50%. They don't reach the top 20 or top 1%. Okay, so now that I've mentioned the secret number 1, which is good is the biggest enemy of great, I must tell you, what should you do to live that great life or to achieve that great life? And the formula is simple. The formula is very simple. Let's understand this, and let me show you a easy graph for this. Okay, so here it comes on your screen. And yes. Okay, so we begin with the secret. I've already shared the secret. Let me show this graph to you. As per this graph, no, to reach the top percentile, what you have to do early in life is, I'll give you a lot of examples to help you understand this. To reach the top 1 percentile, you follow your passion early in life. Next, you can see take risks. Take risks early. Now is the time. As I mentioned, no, it's amazing hai. From 23 onwards, you're expected to start earning. You're expected to get married from 23 to 30. You're expected to have children. You're expected to take your better half to international destinations. Everything starts happening immediately once you are 23, 24, 25. उसके बाद इतना सारा responsibilities. But now you do not have any responsibility. But you're full of energy right now. Take risks right now in whichever smaller version, smaller form you can. And then you can see on your screen, it's written, it's okay to fail, isn't it? Not fail in padhai, not fail in your studies. It's okay to fail as in you tried something and you didn't succeed. So it's okay, no? You tried, but you didn't make it. You didn't succeed. But now that you've tried, if you succeed, good. If you do not succeed, good. But you gain a lot of experience. The next thing that you see is experience. So you get a lot of experience once you're taking risks early in life and trying it out. And with experience, you find your purpose, which is so important in life, to find your purpose early in life. Those, I will say, all those who are lucky will find their purpose early in life. And once you find your purpose, you will reach to the top percentile. And now let me tell you, it is not necessary that you have to go through this. But if you're doing this, the journey is faster. Also, let me tell you that 35 years to likha hai na, it is not necessary that you will find your purpose in 35 years. You can find it now. Now is the time to find your purpose. I'll give you some examples of Elon Musk. सबको Elon Musk बनना है ना? Amazing personality. We're also inspired by him, isn't it? Elon Musk used to sell these Easter eggs when he was a young boy with his friends. So they would go door to door selling these Easter eggs and candy, mithais, sweets basically. So they would go in Christmas selling candies and sweets door to door. And when people ask them, $1 per candy, $10, why are you selling? He would say, because I know you can afford it. What a nice line to make people buy, isn't it? So he's done all that as a child. He's had a difficult childhood. At the age of 12, he made a software and sold it for $500. Another example that I can give you is Ritesh Agarwal, our OEO hero. He started, I think he was selling SIM cards at the age of 13 or at the age of 14. All those who have taken up risks early in life and have tried out things, make it big also in life. Make it big early in life. They experience, they might fail, they might succeed, but they get a lot of experience and they find their purpose and make it big. So trying at this age is so important. Now, in our college, we had this international badminton college championship. So the topper who was there from our college, who won the tournament, he comes and tells me, ma'am, I want to start a coaching academy of badminton. And I told him, start it now. Now is the time. Start in a small form now. Give it a name. Help maybe 10 people play half as good as you are playing. Start it now. Do it now. Now is the time. People say me, ma'am, CA ka academy kholna chahte hain, ma'am. We really want to train people on finance. You're good in finance. Try to train people. See how it feels training, starting it early in life. Try coaching. Try training people under you. Take up more risks. The generation that you are all in, you're brimming with energy. You're beaming with energy. And if you all start taking it early in life, I'm sure India will have many more photos to put in this picture frame that I had kept empty. So now that you've understood all this, that the formula to do is this passion, it is now the time to find out your passion. Now is the time. Now is the time to take risks. It's okay to fail. Experience something early in life and find your purpose and make it big in life. Aspire for a great life. Do not aspire for a good life, or else we will just land up in a good life, like most of the people in the world. So that's it. And now that you've received secret number 1, which is good is the biggest enemy of great, it's time to rejoice. And next, Itishri Madam and Prarat sir will take up. Itishri Madam will share secret number 2 and Prarat sir will share secret number 3. They are very, very powerful secrets. Stay here with us. Itishri ma'am, over to you. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Students out there, parents, friends, colleagues, and everybody present here to attend this webinar. I need not welcome you again since Soni Madam has already done that. Let me begin with a few statistics. Maybe a little boring, but please bear with me. Starting 2020, India's population stood at 1.38 billion, compared to the world population of 7.78. What does that tell us? Remember, we account for 17.7% of the total world's population. Big figure. And remember, there are 195 countries around the world. So out of those 195 countries, we are just one country with 7.7% of the total population. And according to statistics, we have the youngest group of people in our country. Just recently, the Nobel Prize Awards, the results of the Nobel Prize has come out, maybe yesterday also, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, we had another result coming in economics. You all remember last year we had a Nobel laureate from India, Mr. Abhijit Banerjee, if I remember correctly. But right from its inception till today, there have been 950 recipients of Nobel Prizes. And India accounts for only 10. Certainly not very encouraging. Come to sports. Here also, we are not in an enviable position. Look at our performances in Olympics. We never or seldom reach that 1 percentile of the top most successful people. So what is stopping us? What is stopping the staggering 1.38 billion people from being successful? Is there some reason behind it? It cannot be our history, because as record shows that India has been the cradle of excellence in every aspect of knowledge, be it medicine, science, physics, philosophy, arts, culture, you name it, and we have it. Even in medicine, even in surgery, we had it. So what has happened during these past few years? Why are we not reaching the top? Is there a reason? Have we ever thought about it? Remember, 10 out of 950 again means only 1.05%. Is there anything you can think of? I'll give you 5 seconds. Just think of some reason why we have not achieved the kind of success that should have been ours, considering the fact that we have such a huge population. If you can write it on your chat box, I'll be happy to see your answers. Think of one reason that you think that stops us from succeeding. Can I see the chat box, please? Some answers in the chat box. Okay, let me see. Lack of encouragement, great. Lack of right knowledge, great. Okay, discouraging, okay. Lack of confidence, wonderful. There's a really wonderful answers coming from students. I'm sure most of the students sitting here must be thinking, you all must be thinking at some point of your life, what has happened to us? Why are we not able to go to the pinnacle of success? Why do we have just a handful of Rabindranath Tagore's, a handful of Abdul Kalam's, a handful of Lata Mangeshkar's, Tendulkar's, but this number is very few, very nominal compared to the large number of population, isn't it? You will also agree with me, right? Okay. So you've all given wonderful answers here. Let's hold on for a second. Let's go back to the year 2006. Third day of the Nagpur test played between India and England. Sachin Tendulkar, the cricketing god, is at the crease. A young debutant English bowler by the name of Monty Panesar, who's a left-arm spin bowler, comes running, spins the ball, and gets Tendulkar out. Just imagine his excitement, his rejoicing, how much that must have meant for that young man. But on the other side was this crestfallen Tendulkar. Match was over. The physio came to Monty Panesar. Sachin Tendulkar had sent word through the physio. He came to Monty Panesar and said, Tendulkar is willing to sign the ball for you. Now this was a icing on the cake. The great Tendulkar wanting to sign the ball for Monty Panesar. Of course, the young man was excited. He went to Tendulkar. Tendulkar signed the ball, looked up at him, gave a little smile and said, once in a blue moon, mate, never again. Once in a blue moon, mate, never again. He was making a strong statement here. Tendulkar was making a strong statement here. What was that statement? I'll leave you to think about it. I have another story for you. A young girl, a national volleyball player, traveling from Delhi to Lucknow by train. Suddenly, a group of hooligans enter into their coach. They snatch things from people, their wallets, their money, their gold. But this young woman refuses to part with her gold chain. There is a shuffle. All of them together carry her physically, throw her out of the running train. Just as her body was being thrown out, another train was passing by. She got hit and was lying between two tracks. 7 hours she lay down there. 7 long hours of pain. Throughout, she was conscious. One of her legs, she realized, was gone. It was there, but just hanging, barely hanging. In the morning, early in the morning, she was taken to the local hospital. There was no anesthesia provision. Her leg was amputated without anesthesia. Later, she was sent to the AIIMS hospital in Delhi. 4 months she lay there, got a prosthetic leg. 11th of April, 2011, Miss Arunima Sinha was thrown out of the train. 21st of May, 2013, she was on top of the world, on top of Mount Everest, with one prosthetic leg. How many of us can think of doing that? Just imagine the guts of that girl. Just imagine her willpower. Just imagine her mindset, her passion, her drive to do the impossible. Standing there on top of the Everest, she was crying. She took a video of herself climbing down below freezing temperature. Her prosthetic leg fell off. She didn't bother. Looked up into the sky and told God, you set as many challenges as you like, and I will be ready to face that challenge, and I will defeat you. What courage. What courage. Astonishing, isn't it? 2 years ago, if you remember, a news came on our television. There was a flyover under construction at Bomikal, which collapsed, killing 2 people. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was a father and a little daughter who were killed when the bridge collapsed. We all saw it in the news, sitting in our living rooms, shaking our heads, feeling empathy, for those people who had died, cursing the people who had built the bridge. The person who was accused was taken into custody, and few days later, we forgot the incident. Just about, I think about 10 days later, I was returning with a group of friends from Chilka in a car. We stopped at Khandagiri Square for a cup of tea. We got down. This was a little tea stall and crowded as usual. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we don't see that today. Crowded, and these were all young boys I could see. Young boys, probably belonging to some professional college. They were standing beside me. I took the cup of tea, finished it, and was looking for a dustbin, looking around for a dustbin. Couldn't find one. Asked the shopkeeper, "Hello, can you please tell me where the dustbin is?" The shopkeeper conveniently looked away. One of these young men who was standing beside came up to me. "Madam, you can throw it here." And he pointed at a pile of empty cups, which were already lying there on the ground. I said, "But that's not a dustbin. I want a dustbin." Then somebody came up and said, "Chalega, madam, chalega. Throw it here. Some municipality person will come up today or tomorrow and pick it up." Chalega. That word suddenly hit me like a jolt. What is this word, chalega? Why is it that everything for us is chalega? I could see the story of the fallen bridge and the story of that empty cup, of those empty cups lying on the ground. Behind them were the same attitude working, the attitude of chalega. For us, everything is chalega. You drive on the wrong side of the road, chalega. You ride a motorcycle without a helmet, chalega. You finish your assignment in a hurry and somehow submit it in the class, chalega. This chalega attitude is our greatest enemy. Every single day, every single moment, what we do is we accept everything that happens around us. We accept mediocrity. That falling bridge and that empty cup, these are symbols of nothing but that attitude of chalega, the surest enemy of success and the surest road to failure, my friends. Remember this. Not a difficult proposition to change that. Remember, sometimes what happens when we go on the road, you're going without a helmet, somebody from the other side comes and signs at you, there's checking going on. Take a U-turn, go. You don't have a helmet. And you happily take a U-turn, go back, recount the story to your friends. You know, today, bach gaya. Otherwise, Mamu would have caught me. And you feel so happy and elated that there was this gentleman who pointed out to you that there is a policeman out there checking, so please take a U-turn. Tomorrow, you're riding without a helmet. You get into an accident, God forbid, you're lying on the street. That same man who signed at you to take a U-turn and run away and escape from the police will see you falling there on the streets, will not come to your help. That same man who had advised you in a way, you know, acted, you know, in league with you and gave you that excuse for not wearing a helmet. That same man, if you're lying there wounded on the street, will pass by without notice because for him, chalega, koi dusra hai, what is happening? You know, let him fall there. Why should I bother taking him to the hospital? So, who is to blame for this? Why can we not change this? I had once met an army colonel, a 6'4" tall gentleman, 4 times as broad as me, and a really, really, you know, the face that will terrorize you within no time. He was, in fact, the chief security officer at the DRDO at Mysore. He was narrating an incident in his life. They were posted at Kashmir at the peak of the terrorist activities. The peak of terrorist activities, he was posted in Kashmir He was going with his group of people on a deserted area with bushes all around. And just about, they were in the middle of that deserted area when he stopped his Fulton. He said, just a minute, went around the bush to relieve himself. Job done, he was buckling his belt. And he told me, for a second, I heard some movement. I don't know what. And I looked up. 3 yards away from me was standing a man with his typical Kashmiri outfit with an AK-47 on his shoulder. For a second, both of us were paralyzed. He did not expect me. I did not expect him. And we were facing each other. And for that moment, we saw death in each other's eyes. It was either him or me. Instinctively, not even knowing what I was doing, I picked up my AK-47, fired 23 rounds and pumped it into that man. The man obviously fell down. He was telling me that I was a trained army officer, but seeing that person in front of me for a second really, shook me up. It was either him or me. One bullet would have sufficed to kill him, but the terror in me made me shoot him 23 rounds. How was he capable of doing that? Supposing someday he would have said, oh, today I feel lazy, I'll not go up for training. Chalega, kya hua? Ek hi din to hai. Supposing he kept saying that, do you understand what the implication would be? It would be for him and for you sitting there and for all of us, the entire country, if all these soldiers took one day off saying that, chalega, today I'll take a leave, today I'm not feeling well, I'll not go up for the training. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. And this will bring you to the idea that yes, from today, start saying, nahi chalega. What does that chalega symbolize? It symbolizes compromising on everything that we value in life. Compromising in quality, compromising in our performance, compromising in our education, in everything that we should not be compromising in. If you travel in some of these Western countries, at midnight, even at 2 o'clock in the night, if a car is going and the red light is on at the traffic, the car stops. Empty streets, no one there, but the moment the red light comes in, people stop, irrespective of if there is anyone on the road or not. Why are we so casual? Chalega, red light mein chalte hain, police to nahi hai, there's no police. The day we change this attitude, we are sure to succeed. Believe me. And believe me when I say that this is not a difficult job. If you think carefully, you're doing it in your life also. Let's say you're getting ready for a party, or you're going to a departmental store to buy a shirt or a dress. How many times do you go to the trial room to check whether the dress fits you properly or not? How many times do you, go into the trial room, come out again, no, this doesn't fit me, go again, come out. What are you doing? You are using the attitude, nahi chalega. Nahi chalega. Imperfection, nahi chalega. A little bit of size here and there, nahi chalega. I have to have it perfect. So you have it in you. It's not that you don't have it in you. The only thing that's happening is you're not conscious that I have to do it. You're not noticing the fact that this is what is spoiling my career. This is this, getting up in the morning and saying, chalega, thoda aur ek ghanta so lete hain. That is what is keeping you away from success. That is what the Tendulkars and the Arunima Sinhas never did. For them, it was not. When Tendulkar was telling Monty Python that never again, he was not challenging him. He was not being arrogant. What he was saying is, it was a mistake on my part. I will make it up for it and come before you. And never again did it happen that Monty Python took his wicket again. That is what. But Nahi chalega. Remember, life offers you choices constantly between chalega and nahi chalega. It is up to you to decide which path you want to take. I remember a very beautiful poem from a very famous English poet, Robert Frost. The road not taken. It says, just 2 lines, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. That has made all the difference. I took the one less traveled by. That means I took the road that was traveled by fewer people, that 1 percentile of people who are at the top, who are successful. They travel those roads which are untraveled by or traveled by fewer people. And that makes all the difference. You can do it. You will do it if you want to. If 5 of you sitting out there, just think about it and put it into practice, you will see what kind of success you can reach. It is in you. It is absolutely in you. Very doable. But what does that nahi chalega attitude do to you? You know, when you join in corporates, they have a basis of performance appraisal. Many of you in the audience definitely must be knowing this. There are 3 categories. One is performing below expectation. Another is performing as per expectation or meeting expectation. Another is exceeding expectation. There are these 3 layers. You either perform below expectation, you perform for meeting expectation, or you perform for exceeding expectations. But we are not talking about even exceeding expectation. And whose expectations are we talking about? Not the person out there, not your boss, not your company, not anybody else. Your own expectation. Decide whether this is all I can achieve. Can I not do a little more, put a little more effort and do a little more? Can I not do it? Of course I can. Of course you can. But then do not be satisfied with just exceeding expectation. You have to go 1 step beyond that. That 1 step that all successful people in the world do. They create new standards. Here, gentlemen, is your second secret to success. Create new standards. Like Arunima Sinha did, stepping with 1 leg onto the top of Everest. She's the one who did it. Tendulkar is today known as the god of cricket. He was not born a god. He was just an ordinary man like you and me. But he made himself such that he created those new standards and he became a god. Who is stopping you? Think. Think again. Start with that nahi chalega attitude. And my friends, nothing can stop you. Thank you. I think I'll hand you over to Professor Praharaj, who's waiting to give you the 3rd secret. And best of luck. Start from today. If only 1 of you listening to what I'm saying today or what Soni Madam just said today, if 1 of you put it into practice, you will see what success will touch your feet. Thank you. And I'll add 1 just little thing. Keep a smile. Life smiles back at those people who smile at life. So never erase that smile from your face, irrespective of what happens. Thank you. Over to Praharaj sir.
Thank you so much, Itisri ma'am, for the kindest introduction. Good evening, everyone. So before getting started, let me ask you a very small question. Can any one of you see what is in my hand? What exactly I do have in my hand? Can any of you please write it down in the chat box? Any idea what it is exactly? What do I have in my hand? Exactly, I do have a check, right? I do have a check of 50 lakh rupees and I am ready to offer it to you. Now, the best question is, how exactly you are going to invest these 50 lakh rupees in your lifetime? Now, you have 30 seconds time. I want your answers. I want your desires. I want your options in the chat box. Please start. Okay, I do have received one. Business, that's great. Acha, service for which business do you want to prefer? Hello, am I audible? Okay, great. In education, wonderful answer. Amresh, really happy with your answer. Okay, thank you. Stock market shares, investment, wonderful. Invest upon my learnings. Wow, that's amazing. Food production, great. Start my own event management company. Wow, that's wonderful. Passion, that's absolutely fantastic. I want to invest in some, I can gain some success. Great. That's great. Service for educating people. I really love this one. Service for educating people who are really interested. Great, great thoughts, Mr. Keep it up. Open a startup, Sangeeta, wonderful, great. Business, invest in agriculture, NGOs, wow. I see my future of my country is in great hands. Thank you so much. So let me get back to the basics here. Acha, can any one of you please notify me, is my screen visible? Hello, is my screen visible? Can I just drop it? Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Now, let us just discuss what are the possible avenues or possible venues you will be interested to invest in after the euphoria of celebrating, merrymaking, partying, and obviously, because once you get such a huge amount, naturally you will be having a thought process of just a minute. Okay, yeah, sorry. Mm-hmm. This happens. Annotation stuff really works. Okay, so let's say after a euphoria of enjoyment, merrymaking process and partying, what exactly are the possible venues or avenues where you can invest in to get a good returns? Okay, now you have the sum of 50 lakh rupees. What is the first thing that you will invest in? The first thing that you will invest in is your banks, right? Just a minute, sorry. My apologies. The first thing that you will invest in is in your banks, right? You are going to make a deposit. Now, let me talk about the statistics here. If you are investing in bank, you will be getting a decent 6% return, while which is having very low risk, right? And parallelly, if you are investing in mutual funds, right? Just a second, sorry. If you are investing in mutual funds, you will be getting 12% return on investment and parallel low risk. If you are investing in real estate, let's suppose say you purchase a house and you sell it out or you put it on rent, you will be getting a decent 15% return on your investment while having medium amount of risk. If you are interested to venture or let's suppose say open up a retail outlet with collaboration or open or set up as franchisee with any big brands, let's suppose say KFC, McDonald's, Harley Davidson, right? You will be getting a 20% return on investment with average amount of risk. And parallelly, if you are opening, if you are having that entrepreneurship venture in you, that entrepreneurship skill in you, you would want to open up your own retail outlet. You would want to open up your own hotel. You would want to open up your own restaurant. You will be having 25% of return on your investments while having medium amount of risk. And lastly, like we can say, if you are inspired by the Chintu ad from White Hat Junior, and you think that yes, the future only belongs to those people who are tech savvy, who are software engineers, and you start up your own venture altogether in dealing with the software industry, right? You will be having a decent 35% return on investment, right? But the risk is considerably high. The possibility of failure is huge, if you ask me. Now, statistics is kind of a boring stuff. Like even I hate statistics, if you ask me personally. Now, let's get back to another story. Can any one of you please identify this individual? Any guesses who this person is? Any guesses? Oh, poor people, seriously. Okay, any guesses who this individual is? Who this famous TV personality is? Yes, very good, Sweta. He is none other than Mr. Sushil Kumar, the first person to win a sum of 5 crore rupees in the 5th season of Indian Origin Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Kaun Banega Crorepati, which was hosted in 2011. Right? Think this through. A person who belonged to Champaran and he was preparing for UPSC examinations. This is a huge deal for you, right? Just think this through. If anyone offers you 5 crore rupees, wow, it's a life-changing opportunity. It's a career-defining opportunity for you. But can any one of you say what he is currently up to? And any idea what he is currently doing? Okay, let me break it down to you. Unfortunately, he is facing a lot of financial difficulties and he has taken up his responsibility as a teacher. Think this through. A person, an individual who won 5 crore rupees in the year 2011 and is currently bankrupt, struggling for his daily financials and has taken up a responsibility of teacher, right? What could have possibly gone wrong? Within this 9 years period, what could have possibly gone wrong, right? He was a millionaire in 2011 and currently he's suffering in his financial status, right? Let me break it down to you what exactly happened. In an interview himself, he said that just give me a moment. There is something in the chat box. Yeah, very good, Sweta Jetty. I really appreciate that. Now, what exactly happened? Now, in his latest interview, he said that he was not able to handle such a development altogether. Right? Development, which means that he was not able to handle the success. He was not able to handle the finance altogether. What he did, he started investing across various businesses. Even if I become Raju Bhai and if I go and ask him that 25 din mein paisa double kar lunga, he would have invested in that. Right? The next thing what happened, now apart from the investment part, he started to attend a lot of social events. And unfortunately, which in turn made his education to go backseats, right? The only thing, think of this, the only thing that made him successful, that made him known, his intelligence, his IQ, right? His knowledge. And he started, let's suppose, neglecting about that sector. Right? Then what happened? Then he started giving up 50,000 rupees per month to various charities. And trust me, if I talk about those charities were run by dubious people. Their task was to simply exploit Mr. Sushil Kumar. And unfortunately, this is what had to happen. And he became frustrated. Once he became frustrated, he started consuming alcohol. He started consuming cigarettes. And there was a moment in his life when his relationship with his wife went into hot waters. Then what he did? He went to Mumbai aspiring to be a filmmaker. He even participated in your Dancing with the Stars, the Indian version of your Jhalak Dikhla Ja, where he's danced with one of the famous choreographers. Unfortunately, his stint as a filmmaker was completely rendered useless. He was a failure in that. Even to be honest, there's a proof that he sold his latest plot by just in only 20,000 rupees. Think this through. A person who have traveled in such a long distance, have arrived Mumbai without a proper vision, have literally spending his funds on unnecessary things. Right? Then what happened? He went into depression. There he went hours and hours in a laptop watching movies which were completely meaningless. And once the funds run short, he was forced to travel back to his village. What did you learn? The first lesson: investment does matter. Timing does matter. Efforts, finance does matter, right? So let me ask you $1 billion question. Can any one of you say which is the investment that can guarantee you 1000% return while having manageable risk? Any answers? Anything that comes into your mind? Yes, I'm getting some chats. Gold, no, I'm sorry. Yes, Aradhana, nearer to that. Very good, wonderful. Yes, the right answer is, drum roll please. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the third secret of the day, that is investing in your own self. Right? What exactly do you mean by investing in your own self? There are three preliminary criteria, right? What are the three preliminary criteria? Now, first is investment in education. Learn what you love, right? Take up educational courses from wherever or whichever place you desire, right? Enhance your skill by enrolling various skill development programs. Uplift your academic performance. Create your passion in the area of your interest. Take up latest courses. There are latest courses available over LinkedIn. There are latest courses available over your EDX, Coursera. Even RCM is offering latest courses, online courses, right? Think this through. Think this through, guys. Now, what exactly we are talking about? Education is one of the most primitive things that everyone can aspire for, right? Now, let me give you another story. How many of you have heard about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the people's president, right? The missile man of the country. Do you know he belonged to a very humble family background, right? And he was belonging to a very financially backward class or backward family. At times, even he have to sell newspaper so as to supplement his family's income, right? But he never let that came across his passion for education. He was a sincere, he was a diligent, he was a hardworking individual. Think this through. If I am Mr. Sushil Kumar, I am having adequate amount of knowledge. Now I have acquired adequate amount of funds. Don't you think that I should be encouraging my own self to invest in education? I would have gone to overseas, right? I would have gone for Harvard. I would have gone for Oxford to pursue my master's, to pursue my bachelor's, right? But what he did, education forms the first step of your career development, right? The next is your cultivating great habits. Now, habits are the things that define us. Consciously or subconsciously, habits are the activities that we perform, right? Just think this through. Once you are waking up from your bed, you are automatically going to your bathroom to have your brush, to brush your teeth, right? This is your habit. This is automatically programmed in your mind, right? Let me give you another story. Bill Gates, right? One of the most business magnate, we can say. He is the person who have literally defined what business is all about. We are truly grateful to Bill Gates. Even we are using that interface, Microsoft, right? Now, do you know Bill Gates is an avid reader? He had made himself a promise that he will read at least one book per week. He's a voracious reader. He extensively invests in reading. And as per him, and I quote, that books are the fuels for growth, right? Bill Gates, just think this through. Bill Gates is an individual. Why would he need to learn something, right? He's already rich. He's already billionaire. He can own the world altogether. But still then, he says that if you want to be in the business, if you want to be relevant in the future changing times, you have to read and learn and grow. That is what exactly you need to understand. Now, the next is you have to develop emotional quotient. Now, what do you mean by emotional quotient altogether? Emotional quotient is the ability of your to understand the emotions not only of your own but also the persons involving with you. They may be your family member, they may be your peer groups, they may be your friends, right? And trust me, empathy is the thing that we need as of now. Empathy is the only thing that we need as of now, right? Now let me give you another example. This is in the time of December 2006, and this example is very close to your heart. This is of the most dynamic captain that Indian cricket team has. He is none other than Mr. Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli was batting, or let's say was playing for Delhi, and he was playing against Karnataka in Ranji Trophy match, right? Unfortunately, on a fateful night, he lost his father, and he was bound to resume his batting in the next following day, right? Think this through. And he was so emotionally balanced, he was so emotionally strong that he successfully knocked 90 runs, 90, and have made Delhi, let's suppose, a forego the follow-on part which would have been imposed on Delhi, right? This is what we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Emotional quotient define who we are. Just think this through. On that day itself, the entire world came to know that yes, Virat Kohli is made for something great, right? So just combine all these things all together. You invest in good education, you cultivate great habits, and you parallelly focus on emotional quotient. Then, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you will be unstoppable. You will be ready to face any uncertainty. You will be able to tackle any harsh situation, though it may be COVID-19 pandemic, though it may be anything. You will be ready to take on any challenge that has been imposed on you, right? That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 1000% return on investment, right? So I think that would sum up. So the third and the most important and the most pertinent lesson is always invest in yourself. So I believe since you have learned the three basic fundamental secrets of your life, it's time for rejoicing. Okay, I need to check up the chat box. Great, great, great. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for connecting. I really appreciate. On the behalf of Regional College of Management, I take this honor to thank and express my gratitude to each and every one of you for connecting. It was really a memorable experience for us to have this conversation with you. And we are promising with another return in this kind of sessions altogether. We will be sharing, like we say, knowledge sharing processes, learning sharing webinars, and we hope that you will be stay tuned with us. So thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and yes, good night. And yes, please take care of your parents for me. Okay. Thank you so much. Good night, guys. Like we said, we promised you something, right? The gift vouchers. Now, there are three people who will be receiving this gift vouchers are Sweta Jetty, Roshni Sultana, and Sir Mr. Mohanty. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for connecting. It is indeed a pleasure. We are really happy to have you with us.